So remember that absolutely massive pepper experiment? We've got the results today. Just before anything gets past using. The thing is, to be honest, almost all of my peppers are ripe. Now you can see I'm doing this in a bit of a methodical way because I want to make sure I keep separate what plants these come off of so that we can judge for the whole experiment thing. Half the time I can't even see, there's so much fruit. This is what I'm taking off of the 2 plants that were topped. Okay, so you can see pretty decent sizes, all of them. Okay, I'm going to put them in the kitchen and I'm going to mark them and I'll be back. Okay, already let me just do this. The plant that hadn't been pruned. So the theory was the plants that were pruned would give us more peppers but smaller. This is the biggest one. And the thing is, that's 2 plants in 2 separate quad grows. Okay, so these need to go in the kitchen and then we'll look at the overwintered pepper. Last basket is for the overwintered pepper. So this one produced flowers first, produced fruit first, ripened first. But the ripe fruit on this one weren't that far ahead of the other ones. But I'm hoping, I mean, to me, it's severely pruned, so you would expect the same results as the pruned plant, except that it's a very mature plant because it's a couple of years old, because it's last year's plant that we kept alive. So would that mean you would expect it to do better? Let's see. I need a tall person.
You rang me, lady.
I need all the red peppers off of that plant.
Okay. And you can't reach. Right.
No.
Come out because there's not space for both of us in there. Even though it's quite small.
Yes. You gave it away.
Oh, right. Sorry. Oh, look, so cute. Bugger. Where did that go?
You can't get the staff.
It's alright. It didn't fall down the back.
Was it worth it?
I saved it! It pinged. I didn't expect it to ping.
Okay, that's tomatoes.
My tomato.
That's it. The rest are green, I think. You'd see them.
Yeah, there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 biggish ones at the back. You've still got flowers on this one, mind you. Yeah, 4 green ones and a red one.
Okay. This is the interesting thing then. Right, I'm going to scooch up next to you. You can turn round. Because, you know, they all think we've got this huge greenhouse. Right.
They don't know how small you are. But it's so tiny.
Shut up, you. Overwinter plant.
How about you swap?
I go
You
that
do it.
side.
There
That's
you go.
going to annoy you as
That's
well.
all right, I'll
Now.
just hide
Right,
behind it.
overwinter plant. So we didn't really get that many. Do you know what? We've actually had a smaller harvest on all of the peppers this year than we have in previous years. Weather, I don't know. I mean, it's been crazy hot this year, so a lot of it might not have fertilised. It could be that. It could be the issues we had early season.
Yeah.
But all of the plants have had a smaller harvest than normal. But this is the overwintered. That's the biggest pepper. What's your favourite dinky one?
That one.
That one.
Oh.
Okay, that's like a chili pepper. I mean, there's quite a few tiny little ones. Let's be honest, most of them are about this size. It's like something you buy in Tesco.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that's 10. All right, so there's 10 there, and there's another 1, 2, 3, 5 on the plant. So that's still 15 peppers.
Right, and here's the thing. There's one green pepper on this plant.
Yeah.
I did take 2 green peppers off this the other day. There's a green pepper at the back there. Right, so the overwintered and the pruned peppers still have peppers to ripen. The overwintered pepper has flowers on it, so there may still be peppers to come, depending on if this heat keeps up. The pruned plants, I was just saying to Kate, they now have no fruit, no flowers. They're not going to produce anymore. It's too late in the season, so, you know, those plants are finished, they're gone. Yeah. Okay. Question is, I might as well just taking rather than risk them getting sun scorched. They're not
one at the back.
all right. That one's not ripe.
No, maybe leave them now.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your help.
That's all right.
I will go and put these in the kitchen on their label.
I'm going to be cooking for hours tomorrow, aren't I?
Yeah. You should see the tomatoes. Oh, by the way, 2 brads are in the bin. They had burst and started fermenting. They were bubbling.
Oh, there are quite a lot of tomatoes
Yeah.
that I need to deal with.
So many tomatoes. Right, okay. And then I need to finish tidying up. And then I've got seeds to sow. Okay, we're about to have a massive cook-a-thon today, hence the apron, and it's a whole different day, hence we're both wearing different clothes. But as you can see, these are the peppers from the greenhouse. Now is the perfect time to decide. Does pruning your peppers or overwintering your peppers make a difference? And is that a positive difference? Should you or shouldn't you do either, or is it still inconclusive? Let us find out. So, as you can see then, we have peppers from the plants that were pruned, plants that were not pruned, and the overwintered peppers. Now, you've seen us picking these and chatting about it in the greenhouse. Now, we're going to just cut a few open and have a look at them and see what kind of quality they are. We'll have a look at the sizes, and I will tell you which plant produced the most peppers. We need to decide, is there a difference in the amount of flesh on the peppers between the 3 plants?
Okay, so how thick they are?
How thick they are.
Okay.
And obviously the size of the peppers, so how much eating is in them. And then we will count and see which plant gave us the most.
Okay.
So,
which do you want to do first? Have you got a pen to write the results down on?
No, I'll get it.
Ta-da!
First things first, looking at the bowls, it looks like either the prune plant gave the biggest peppers or the most peppers, just looking at volume.
Yes.
And it looks like maybe the overwintered is either smaller or less.
What makes you say that?
Okay, tell you what, find the biggest overwintered pepper and I'll find the biggest pruned pepper. Let's just do a compare.
Okay, I found mine.
Right, the biggest one in here. Okay, so the biggest overwintered pepper the biggest not pruned pepper, the pruned plant.
Definitely a difference.
What do we think though, consistency wise?
These, I was going to say these are relatively consistent, but actually I'm not sure that they are. Well, let's see.
See, the not pruned plant I would say is quite consistent. They're all roughly kind of this size. That's the biggest one by far. There are a couple of little tiny ones. Oh, look at the size of this.
Oh,
That's a good point actually. Right, I'm going to bring you guys in to see this. That's really good. Okay, so that is all of the peppers from the overwintered plant, yeah?
yes.
So you can see there. Not entirely consistent, but not crazy either. There's a bunch of small ones that are roughly the same size, a bunch of larger roughly the same size. Okay, let's do the next one to compare.
Some of these are a bit of a funny shape. Like really funny shape. Sad little one on the end.
That's pathetic. Is that everything?
Yes.
That's the non-pruned plant, so the plant we didn't tamper with at all. So look at that. There are lots of really weird shaped ones. Size-wise, bigger than the overwinter generally.
Most of them are, but there are some really contorted, weird shapes. So depending on what you were going to do with them, in terms of cooking them, you might be slightly more limited with that.
So you're not really going to be using them for stuffing with couscous and stuff?
No, you could slice them in that or roast them in that, and that'll be fine. But yeah, if you were trying to look to fill them, that's not going to sit, it's going to fall over. You can't put anything in that, it's about bend. You know, they're all a bit
wonky.
Yes, they're not the prettiest peppers,
Okay.
shall we say.
So we
And
have
there are 9.
9. Okay.
If you count that as 1.
Hey, you counted the overwintered teeny tinies. So.
Yes. Okay. These monsters.
So this is the pruned plants, the 2 pruned plants. So the ones we tampered with, basically.
That's a very interesting one.
It's got a nose.
Yeah.
Those are quite glossy and shiny, those ones. So there you go. So that's 8.
Yeah. What we can do is
Ooh.
weigh them.
Yeah.
Because it's the amount of pepper rather than the number of peppers.
Well, that's what I was about to say. So looking at the bowls, we were like, wow, look at the pruned peppers, there's heaps. But actually there are less peppers, but they're bigger peppers.
Mm-hmm.
That is the opposite of what we were seeing on the internet, where we're being told you get more peppers, but they'd be smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's weigh them and see. Actually, I'm going to call out because I have taken some peppers off the plants. So, to our tallies, can you add the overwinter? I've used 3 peppers from that plant.
Okay.
The pruned plants,
Mm-hmm.
7, because I used 3 green ones and 4 ripe ones.
Okay.
And the overwintered, 4, 2 green and 2
No,
ripe.
used to be all overwintered already.
Oh, sorry, no, not pruned.
Not from, sorry, 4 did you say?
4.
So that's 13,
Parker's joining in.
15, and 40. Oh, so 14 overwintered, 13 not pruned, and 15 pruned. So the numbers are more or less the same, but it's the
size.
It's the weight that's going to be
Okay.
different.
Okay, let's do it. Sorry, Parker wants out. That door's open, but she wants out this door because the camera tripod's in front of it. You're a pain. Oh, now you don't want it. of loveliness is the pruned plants. And we have
1,420 grams.
We're doing it in very specific grams.
Yes, it was actually a round number. I didn't fiddle with it. It was a round number.
It's more the fact that you're like, we're going to do this properly, we're going to do it to the gram. So the plant that we didn't prune, or the plants I should say, we didn't prune.
978 grams.
970, that's quite a difference. That's like half a kilo difference.
$700. Bang on.
Ooh.
So half what we got off the pruned. So it is quite a significant
It's massively
difference
different.
in terms of the weight.
Yeah. So this one gave us, well, that was convenient. Overwintered, we got 14 peppers and it totaled at 700 grams. The plants that hadn't, oh, that's a point we should say. There was only one overwintered plant, there were two of the others.
Yeah. Remember the total number, that includes ones that I haven't weighed because we don't have those anymore because you've eaten them.
They were small ones. But it's just the fact that we're saying, oh look, it's not as good. But that's one plant that's almost equal in the amount of peppers to two plants. Both of these were two plants.
Okay.
That's a good point. I didn't even consider that. So we definitely got more peppers on the overwintered.
But if what you're going to do is slice those up and use them in something, the size doesn't matter.
No.
But if you were wanting to
Stuff them
with something, then...
Or use rings or something, yeah.
Then yeah, you're going to want something a
So
bit bigger.
overwintered, one plant produced 14 peppers weighing 700 grams. The two plants that hadn't been pruned produced 13 peppers in total, two plants. And it was 978 grams worth of peppers. And the plant that had been pruned created huge peppers, 15 in total, two plants, weighing 1,420 grams.
Just for that.
Just for
that which is probably only half of them, because you said you'd picked 7 of those. There's 8 there. So
yeah. Oh God. Right, okay. So far we're like, but the last thing I suppose, let's cut them open, because the fabulous apron that if you guys have been here a while, you know this apron. This is from when we used to do cooking videos. This is because we're about to do massive batch cooks of tomatoes. There's another couple of bowls worth of these in the greenhouse, and peppers. So we're going to do red pepper and tomato soup, put it in the freezer. We're going to slice up peppers and freeze them so we can use them. I'm going to roast tomatoes and just package them up and freeze them for tomato sauces, for pastas, pizzas, all that kind of stuff. Just because we can't eat all of this today.
No.
And we'll have more again by next week. So, okay, let's slice these babies open.
I'm going to take ones that are approximately the same sort of size.
Yeah.
Just for fairness. This is the not-pruned.
It's a funny thing, you cut them totally different from me.
I'm not going to be able to find a small one of these, because these ones are all huge. That's the smallest one there is.
Okay. So is there a difference in the amount of flesh on the plants? Because it was said that if you prune your plants, you get more, but they're smaller, and the walls are thinner.
No, I just said the
God, no, it's much thicker. Okay, I'm going to bring you in to see, because this is actually quite different.
That's the overwintered. This is the not pruned. We've got some internal peppers and things as well, but we just said the walls are about the same. And then this is the pruned one, which is definitely not thinner.
Definitely not. It's
Definitely
much thicker.
not. It's much thicker. Again, we've got...
Oh look, Parker's back.
Hello, Parker. You don't like peppers. You do not like peppers, sweetheart.
Do we think pruning your pepper plants means you get more peppers but smaller peppers?
No. You get approximately the same number of peppers between these two plants in terms of total numbers, but these ones are far bigger, therefore you're getting more pepper per plant, or more pepper.
Yeah.
More pepper overall.
Interestingly though, the overwintered one plant produced the same amount of peppers as 2 pruned and 2 not pruned, but they're much, much smaller. But we discovered yesterday the overwintered plant is still flowering and fruiting. These other 2 are coming to the end of their season now. So
yeah, what I was saying yesterday was, if you were wanting to have a plant that you were fairly certain was going to keep producing, then overwintering it, if you can keep it alive, means you're not starting from scratch the following year. So if you're trying lots of things, or you're trying something new, or you're not sure about your germination, if you've got a plant that you can keep going, and you've not got a lot of space because it's not a big plant, but you're getting lots of little peppers off it, then that might
So I think that's key. Do you have the space where you can keep this alive over winter, somewhere where it'll get, the conditions it needs? But just for anyone who's watching this and doesn't really follow us a lot, let me explain something important here. We start our pepper plants in January using heat and light, okay? So don't feel that you've done something wrong if you don't have bowls and bowls of ripe peppers yet. Now it's like mid-August. This is very early because we deliberately start the plants very early because we have a short growing season here. However, this year that's gone out the window because
the weather's been
yeah
extraordinarily hot and sunny.
So I suspect this year we'll have quite a long growing season. However, we've probably exhausted the plants now. So we just have to see.
But we're going to stock the freezer, so we're not going to run out of peppers.
We're going to be fine. Right, I'm going to put you out because you're just a little mump today.
You are talking to the cat.
Yes, not you, darling. Okay, we're going to chop freezer. You need to put an apron on.
Yes, ma'am.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, Parker, you have to say, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more like this. Or Parker says no, don't.
Charlie says.
So you don't have a Wonder Woman apron?
No.
But you do have...
I'll have what she's having. Apron.
If you get that joke, in the comments below. Okay, we're just going to leave you there now because we're just going to start cooking, like we say, and sorting things out. And that's just going to be lots of chopping. So, I hope that was interesting, guys. And we will see you next time. See you, folks!
Bye!